A very good day to everyone. As you can see, we changed the name of our channel as this will allow for more diverse topics to be discussed. It will, however, remain a wake-up call to all that watch it. Hence the name. Please feel free to browse around and view any of the other videos on this channel as well. I would like to take the chance to let you know that although I do these videos for free, a donation would really be helpful because making these videos are not free. I will have a description of how you can make a donation at the end of this video. So, I will start with the order of the Jesuits and break it up in smaller videos that will be easy to follow. Many good Christians think that the people that are part of the Roman Catholic Church or cult are only misled, that they believe in the same God but only in a different way. I really am sorry to say this, but if you are a Catholic, and God forbid, you die in this state, you will not be saved, and you will be cast into the pool of fire upon Judgment Day, no matter how good a person you have been in this life. The reason I started with the Jesuits is because the current Pope, Pope Francis, is the first cardinal of the Jesuit order to have been elected to Pope status in the history of the Roman Catholic Church. What do we know about this order, the Jesuit order? It is widely regarded as a missionary order known for its educational institutions. In the 1500s, the Reformation was starting to do some damage to the numbers in the Catholic Church. A commission of cardinals was set on this task to reassert the authority and dominance of the Catholic Church. So at the Council of Trent from 1545 to 1563, new orders were assimilated into the Church in order to stage a counter-reformation to accomplish just that. The most famous of these orders, and the one that went on to become the largest in the world, was the Society of Jesus, or the Order of the Jesuits as it is known. This order have been secretively influential in the destiny of nations, institutions and so on, since its formation, along with the Roman Church. Rulers, presidents, scholars, and even Catholics themselves have known about the far-reaching evil spread by this order, and they left us records of this fact. The following video under this category will deal with people from within the Jesuit order as well as people opposed to it throughout history. Some will admit to their own organizations being modeled on that of this diabolical order. Others will warn us, and some of them even did so at the cost of their lives. One will be wise to study the following material very carefully. Because as the Bible states, a wise man will hear and will increase learning, and a man of understanding shall attain unto wise counsels. Just think of how many rituals and dogmas of the Catholic Church our own non-Catholic churches still adhere to today. So let us start with the founder of this biblical order, the Society of Jesus, a man called Don Inigo Lopez, who later changed his name to Ignatius Loyola. Born in 1491 and died in 1556, he was the first superior general of the Jesuit order. Police records of the time indicates that Ignatius was proud, violent, vindictive and dangerous as a young man. He had a great ambition to become a great military leader. It all went well for him until he was seriously wounded in one particular battle by a cannonball to the legs. He had to undergo many surgical procedures and almost lost his legs. It was a long and painful recovery. At one point, it even seemed that he may die, but he recovered in the end. Unfortunately, his military career was over. While recovering, he studied the works of the so-called saints of the Catholic Church before him and was really influenced by it, especially by Saint Francis of Assisi. He started to idolize Jesus as a great military general and since he could not be a soldier in a physical army anymore, was going to be a military leader in the army of Jesus. He then went to an abbey in the mountains of Montserrat and stood in front of the Black Virgin of Montserrat for 3 days. This was his way to commit himself to this idol, and in doing so, he committed himself to the demonic Asherah, or Ishtar, if you will. From here, he wanted to go to Jerusalem to conquer the Muslim world, but because of the plague in Barcelona, had to stay over in a cave in Mansera for 10 months. Here he had many dreams and hallucinations. He claimed that there was a form next to him which guided him and taught him in the true doctrines of the Catholic Church. He claimed to believe this form because it was exceedingly beautiful, and I quote, "A form in the air near him, and this form gave him much consolation because it was exceedingly beautiful. It somehow seemed to have the shape of a serpent and had many things that shone like eyes, but were not eyes. He received much delight and consolation from gazing upon this object. But when the object vanished, he became disconsolate." Just like what happened to Muhammad, the founder of Islam, Ignatius became prone to depression soon after this encounter. I believe that this encounter may have been demonic in nature, especially since the visitor is a serpent, that devil of old, the great deceiver. He eventually went to Jerusalem, but was turned away. On his return to Spain, he began his studies in the Catholic dogmas. He banded together with a small group who started to make disciples of others. There are many stories about him having miraculous powers and people falling to the ground contrite with convulsions whenever he preached. Him and 6 other devoted followers swore allegiance to the order, and he ran it with the military rules and precisions as he was accustomed to. Ignatius Loyola was made the first superior general of this order, and they began to oppose the Reformation in order to re-establish the authority of the Roman Catholic Church. Eventually, Pope Paul III officially recognized the order and invested in them the following authorities: excommunicate all who hinder or do not aid the society, to confer orders, preach, and administer the sacraments, to change their general, to absolve heretics as well as imprison the excommunicate, to exercise episcopal functions, to confirm, exercise, dispense, etc., to disguise themselves, to carry movable altars, give plenary indulgences, to live exempt, free from secular powers, taxes, as well as jurisdiction, authority, sentence, and command of any other ordinary delegate, judge, magistrate from any search. They were basically above the law. Loyola then instituted the spiritual exercises that I don't have time to get into just yet, but suffice it to say that he received these from this demon that he met in the cave, and that, while involved in these exercises, some of his followers were seen levitating and performing all sorts of macabre magical rituals. Please feel free to research this on your own, but be warned, what you will find is not for the faint of heart. So the Jesuits became the army of the Vatican, literally. I would like to finish this video with some quotes of Ignatius Loyola. Nor will it contribute a little to our advantage if, with caution and secrecy, we foment and heighten the animosities that arise among princes and great men, even to such a degree that they may weaken each other. But if there appear any likelihood of reconciliation, then as soon as possible let us endeavor to be the mediators, lest others prevent us. So they want rulers and great men to fight each other so as to weaken each other, in order for them to step in and collect the spoils. If they then have conflict between these people, the Jesuits can be mediators between the two, and they can control the outcome to suit them. Finally, let all with such artfulness gain the ascendant over princes, noblemen, and the magistrates of every place, that they may be ready to our beck, even to sacrifice their nearest relations and most intimate friends, when we say it is for our interest and advantage. See, they want control of the world. They want to be above the rulers and great men of this earth. They want obedience to the degree that people will willingly sacrifice their loved ones for them. Let proper methods be used to get knowledge of the animosities that arise among great men, that we may have a finger in reconciling their differences. For by this means we shall gradually become acquainted with their friends and secret affairs, and, if necessary, engage one of the parties in our interest. Whoever you are, and especially if you are a Catholic, please remember these words from the Gospel of John. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish, but have everlasting life. Thank you for watching, and be sure to tune in next Sunday night for the next video in this series. Like I said earlier, if you would like to leave a donation, please do so by clicking the card here, or you can click the link in the description. Thank you. Goodbye.